Little Red showed up to work with a black eye. She tried to lie. We know it was that guy. Co-worker Ben said that he was wrong. That's the big bad wolf. Some things you just got to find out on your own. Back in the past, she thought she knowed him, but he was just an undercover narcissist posing in sheep's clothing. They almost dated, but he ended up doing 10 in the pen because he was gang related. Upon his release, he met this girl, little Bo Peep, riding down the street in her white expedition, which she called the Sheep. Now she's a redhead Caucasian, mixed with Asian, sweet but gullible, likes her men colorful, thought he was lovable, didn't know he was troublesome. She let him in her bed because of what he said he'd do to her gingerbread. For weeks they kicked it. Then little Bo Peep lost her sheep, meaning it got impounded for tickets. To save some change, they got it out and by putting the title in his name. Then things took a change. He started getting high, drinking that gin. Then the wolf busted up out of that sheepskin. He started to huff and puff and cuff and rough her up with no purpose, misusing her, abusing her, just clowning her like a circus. Gone for days in the sheep, working her nervous. But she said she liked what he do to that gingerbread. He couldn't better planned it out, seeing Little Red and her kid when he was out and about. He hit her with a, what's up, girl? Where you headed? She said, Granny house. He said, let me give you a ride. So her and the kid got on inside. While on the path, they talked and laughed about the past. She was like, my, what big arms you have here. He said, better enough to hold you with, my dear. They start to chat about how his living arrangements ain't working out, how this girl misusing him, abusing him, clowning him just like a circus. Red said, I don't know why. You a nice guy. You don't deserve this. Here, take my number. Give me a jingle. And he dropped her off at Grandma's house in the woods of Ingle. So they would talk on the phone. He Pinocchioing about what's going on at home. She didn't understand it when, one night, the fork ran away with the spoon, the cow jumped over the moon, and the wolf called panicking. Bo Peep missing her sheep, she reported it stolen. He said she lied. The title's in my name, but they kept me for a DUI. And they told the sheep, I need you to go get it before little Bo Peep. So she did. When he got out, she let him stay with her and the kid. Some peace of mind, she thought he'd find. Things were fine for some time. Then he started getting high, drinking that gin. The wolf busted out of that sheepskin. He huffed and puffed, started to rough her up. But Red didn't play that. She fought back, so he punched her out, choking her out. Didn't stop till the kid walked in. Then he apologized that this won't happen again. Now she's still bruised, in pain. Had to wake up for work. He said, here, this makeup will work. She was trying. She said, mirror, mirror, on the wall. Who's the fairest? The mirror cut her off, said, girl, don't get me lying. Then it happened again, and it happened again. But when he raised up on the kid, this can't happen again. When they made the 911 call, he was in the wind. He ran so fast, knocked the neighbor Humpty Dumpty off the wall. And when the three little pigs came, all they got was his name. The drama didn't stop there. When she wasn't home, he would huff and puff, break in the house and steal his stuff. He stayed out of order, but she never pressed charges or got a restraining order. Then she got a call that he was in jail. For some reason, she decided to visit. But while going in, some girl coming out with big bad name coming out her mouth. She stopped. She said, you know him? I'm Lil Red. She said, I'm Goldilocks. He been living in my spot. They decided to talk over a drink and a bite to eat. Red can't help but notice that Goldie is pushing the sheep. And when she gets to Goldie's spot, it's more of a shot. He been stealing from Red, giving it to Goldilocks. She made a drink, warmed some porridge from last night. She said, is that too hot or too cold? She said, no, girl, that's just right. Well, he used to hang with his gang by the shelter I was in. And when I got this place, he was swagging and dragging all in my face. He asked for an hour if he could shower and wash his clothes. And you know how that goes. ended up in my bed because of what he said he can do to my gingerbread. He said you was misusing him, abusing him. You put him out in the streets, had him sleeping in the sheet. Yeah, I did. He was putting hands on me and raised up on my kid. He get high and drink too much, then he huff and puff. Goldie said, yeah, he got rough with me once, but once was enough. I flipped the table on him. I literally flipped the table on him. I started beating him with a pot. He was screaming, help, help, help. Woke the neighbor Rip Van Winkle up, who called the cops. See, he was next door, just did his duty with Sleeping Beauty. So when the three little pigs busted in, along with all the king's horses and all the king's men, they said, we've been looking for him. And they took him off to jail. But that don't end the tale. When he get out, he had to go back to court with the three little ladies, with three little wolves, suing for child support. Now, Goldie's heart was made of brick. She was pressing charges really quick. That way he can't hurt nobody else. Lil Red, she had a heart of wood. She thought inside there was some good. She let him go so he can hurt somebody else. Little Bo Peep, she had a heart of straw. She just sucked it up, and she lost her sheep. This ain't no land far, far away. These girls is from around the way. Did they live happily ever after? Well, who's to say? CarltonTheMessenger.com